So look at all the bike stuff and bikes we just picked up in Pittsburgh. More old mountain bike stuff than you could shake a stick at. So a friend of the channel reached out to me letting me know that they had 4 bikes in storage at a friend's house in Pittsburgh, PA with a lot of little extras, mountain bike type stuff. They left Pittsburgh in kind of a hurry, jumped on an Amtrak, and then rode their light speed bike the rest of the way to where they are now. Their goal was to eventually get the bike shipped to them, but decided the cost was just prohibitive and they were never going to do it. So they were like, hey, if you want to go to Pittsburgh, grab these bikes. They're all yours. Do something with on the channel, find a home for them. That'd be great. So me and Erin were like, well, let's make a weekend out of heading to Pittsburgh and go pick up these bikes.
What a scenic start to this ride.
We had a couple bike trails in mind that we wanted to ride that we hadn't ridden before on Saturday. So we looked at the Montour Trail, found a location there, kind of planned a rough route, and then we decided to head to a brewery for lunch in Carnegie, PA. From Carnegie, we went out and started to ride our loop, and we realized, well...
You want to tell me about our peaceful route to this trail?
No.
No?
No, it was awful.
Why?
I should have known better. Why? It was just like suburban strip mall, Pennsylvania. I don't think that they know what the numbers 25 mean, especially when paired with MPH.
Yeah. But not just that, it was also almost 1,200 feet of climbing through that to get here.
Yeah, it was 8 miles and 1,200 feet.
Go around the trail now. See?
I'd like to tell the viewers about my plan. About three quarters of the way through the ride, there's a brewery. I think I'm gonna stay there. Send Tim to get the car and come get me.
All right, we'll see what happens.
I'm pretty good.
Anyways, once we were finally on the bike trail, it turned out to be really nice. Crushed limestone for a while. It was still like kind of in a suburban area, and that's what the views were, but it was also on like a ridge, overlooking a valley. Still kind of interesting. But as we rode along further, it did become more and more nature-like. I actually say to Erin in one part of this video, like this, now it has real gap trail vibes with tunnels and bridges, and you're more out there along a river valley. So it became really, really cool. There were a lot of historical markers and stuff like that, a lot of interpretive signage, which I love, but it was winter and we were low on time, so we really didn't stop for anything, but we did enjoy the ride nonetheless. There are a lot of facilities on the trail as well too, like the memory benches, some shelters. There was a couple primitive campsites we passed, but they had fire rings. One even had a lean-to. So it seems like this would be a good route to tie in with like a bike touring thing, maybe a longer tour that did connect up to the Gap Trail and the CNO Trail or something like that. I haven't looked into it that much to figure out what the route would be, but it is something we looked at last year when we were thinking of doing something maybe through PA and West Virginia. So something to see in the future for sure.
No Gap Trail vibes through here, huh? Oh no, I was worried it was closed. I think so.
It's warm in this tunnel. I love this tunnel. It's warm, dry.
was the bridge we came across way up there on the Montour Trail. Now we're down on the Panhandle Trail, trying to figure out where this next brewery stop is.
So basically our loop turned out to be really nice as we were able to jump from the Montour Trail down to the Panhandle Trail. We ended up stopping at the brewery Erin mentioned. We ordered a beer. It was only going to be about like an 8-mile ride back to where the car was. 4 miles of it was still going to be on the Panhandle Trail, which I was all about. The next 4 miles, we were trying to look at Google Maps and discern how tough it was going to be. It didn't look too bad, but it was cold and dark, and we both just decided to bail on the idea. Erin just hopped in a Uber, went back to the car, and drove it back and picked us up. That night, we went out to one more brewery to get dinner, and it was a great spot, little wood fire, enjoyed it. And then in the morning, we got up, hit a couple coffee shops. It's Erin, so it's not just going to be one coffee stop when we're in a different city. And then headed out, grabbed the bikes, and fit everything in the car somehow. Did have to like discard a couple of the boxes to get everything to fit in just right, but got it all here. And so that'll be a future video and probably some of the live streams if you watch the live streams. You know, Tuesdays and Thursdays we'll probably start to go through some of this stuff and talk about it and figure out how to find everything at home. I believe bikes should be ridden, so I do want to, you know, get these under somebody eventually. All right, that's it for this video. Thanks as always for watching. Peace.